Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio. Educate, enlighten, entertain. And today we have Julia Stege, the magical marketer, who is joining us again to talk about how to set up the attraction plan for clients. So, good afternoon, Julia. How are you doing this fine day?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm really glad to be with you, Lillian.
Terrific. So, why don't you outline the steps for the attraction plan?
All right. What is the attraction plan? So back about 20 years ago, I discovered this very simple questionnaire, really, is what it is, that was created by a woman, Jan Stringer, back in like 2001. She wrote a book called Attracting Perfect Customers, The Power of Strategic Synchronicity. And in it, she revealed the attraction plan, which I'm going to reveal to you today. And this attraction plan has helped tens of thousands of people to attract exactly the right people to their business or movement or any reason that you're trying to attract a person. You can use this attraction plan. The principles behind it are simple law of attraction principles, like attracts like. That's one of them. Meaning that things that are alike to each other are drawn to each other. And so we come from this premise of that we're not targeting people, rather we're attracting people. So no matter what you're up to, you need to attract people. This is how you do it. So all you need really is a piece of paper. Okay, I wonder if I have one. I don't have one here. But, just a piece of paper, okay? And you can actually fold that in half. So it'd be good if it's a blank piece of paper. And you can fold it in half, and now you have actually 4 sides. Okay, and we're gonna have a different question on each side, right? Perfect. So on side 1, at the top, we're gonna put this question. And we're gonna write pretty small, okay? Because we need room to write our answers.
All right.
What are the qualities, characteristics, and attributes of my perfect fill in the blank? So my perfect customers, my perfect business partner, my perfect what? So that it could be interview guest. My perfect interview guest, my perfect what would you call it? Funders, like somebody that funds your project, like if you have a nonprofit, a member or something like that, right?
Yeah, sponsors.
Funder. So it depends on what you're up to, right? So
Yeah.
we're kind of open the box a little. It doesn't have to be a business. Mostly that's what we're using it for. But it could be used for anything that you want to attract people. So what are the qualities, characteristics? But I'm going to just use perfect customers, right? Just to be easy, okay?
Right.
What are the qualities, characteristics, and attributes of my perfect customers? Well, this is going to be a long list of things that you can even categorize this. It kind of gets fun. Like, for instance, if you really want to make sure that the people you attract have a lot of integrity, then you might write down integrity. And then under that, you might say honors their word, tells the truth, shows up on time, communicates clearly. Okay, so these are things those are, some people find that to be important, Let's say creative. Maybe you like creative people. I like creative people, right?
Yeah.
Highly creative, right? So what is that? So I might put creative and then put like has some new paradigm that saves the world or created their own modality or started their own radio station or right. So
Right.
sometimes it might be even less structured than that. I just makes it easy for me to go back in and see, oh, integrity. Yeah, I remember now that I like people with great integrity. That's a big deal for me. Or creative. I love creative people. I start musing over them. When I'm musing over them, I am aligned with them. Like I'm vibing. If I'm well, we'll get to the way of being, but pretty much let's just keep it to this now. When I'm thinking about my people and I'm feeling good, I'm attracting them. And it also helps to write this stuff down because the words you use are going to come in handy later when you're doing your marketing, when you're trying to describe your perfect customer. So, but at first you don't worry too much about that. You're just writing down everything you can think of. And sometimes one of the things you're going to think about is what kind of resources they have. So they're happy to pay you for your services, or they have a huge following of thousands of people or millions of people, or they've got friends, in high places. They know all of the producers in New York. So it doesn't matter if you can target a person for these things that you write down on your side one of your attraction plan, because the universe takes care of a lot of it. Okay. So it's more about vibration than it is about like finding people. Okay.
Yeah.
So then the second piece, do you have any question about that part, Lillian?
No, I don't have any trouble attracting the right people.
Excellent. You've been
They
doing
seem
it
to
a long
show up, whether I'm thinking of them or not. I had an experience today where I was interviewing somebody and he's in the performance business, and we started talking, and it turns out his parents met while they were both working for NPR. So
Oh,
he was brought up with NPR all his life.
no, that's cool.
And we started talking. Next thing I know, we're just on the same spiritual path. It's just wild. And he has a 15-year-old daughter that's involved in broadcast media. And yeah, she would love to be an intern. I mean, some of these things just kind of fall into your lap.
That's right. Well, that's what we're talking about here. And it's really about those law of attraction principles, like whatever is the vibration of what your vibration is determines what you're attracting. What you're resisting, probably you'll attract that too. So we like to always frame our thing in a positive. So let's say you don't like whiners, and the last few clients you've had have been, why is it taking so long or whatever, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
Then you say, we have to turn that around a little bit, right? So we can't say they are not whiners, because guess what? We'll get whiners. So we want something like takes responsibility for their own experience of life, something like that. I figured out those were the words that were the opposite of whiner.
Well, I think people just need to think more positively, not only about themselves, but who they're trying to attract.
Absolutely. So you want to be in love with them, really. It's harder when you're trying to follow these traditional marketing and you're supposed to figure something out there, and there's going to be some kind of triple blind study to prove that these are the trends or something like that. And rather, what I feel is that you just really want to tap in on the other level to your people. So, the bottom line is, who are you born to serve? That's pretty much what this question leads to. The second question, which we put on our side too, is what makes me and my perfect customers tick? What makes me and my perfect customers tick? So just the question itself says, what makes me tick is what makes my perfect customers tick. So what does that even mean? It's some kind of thing like Texans say, because Jan is a Texan. But it just means, what's your passion? What causes your clock to run? So it's the impetus behind everything important that you've ever done in your life. I say it's consistent. I say you were born with it. And that the more that you can get into the core of what really makes you tick, you don't even have to worry about them right now. You know that what makes you tick what makes them tick. So you just focus on yourself. That's going to be easier. And so you just go deep within and you say, what makes me tick? Freedom. For me, let's just say freedom, magic, creativity, love, transformation, revolution.
Yeah, mine is spiritual. Every time I mention spiritual, people just come out of the woodwork.
Soul.
To me. Soul.
Like soul,
So that's exactly it.
So what is it for, you want to start writing down those words, and perhaps one way to know is by looking at what your favorite song is and what part of it really gets you right, and often it's your words are in there. So you can kind of think about what are your favorite songs and what makes you just all feeling tone, right? Because that I love that. That's where you want to get clear on what that is for you. And that my little secret is that will be your brand. So what makes you tick and your terrific customers tick, that's your brand, because it's the most interesting thing you can share. And the most important thing to be aligned with your clients. Yeah. So once you're aligned there, it doesn't matter what kind of connection you want to do. It's going to be great. Just like you said, you can't even limit it in your mind, because next thing you know, their kid wants to be an intern at your station. How could you possibly plan that?
You don't. It just happens. You have to.
So you could put it down so you might be like, nose of perfect intern for, you could have that on your thing. One of my clients gives me expensive gifts, and they were giving her like $1,000 gifts.
Wow.
I had never heard of that one before. I was like,
no, I've never heard that.
You got to be in alignment though. You've got to be you really have to expect. You can't just write down, I get $1,000 gifts, because if you're not in alignment with it and you think, oh, just because she did it, I'm going to try it. Nah, I had somebody I have a client that her client offered her a villa in Italy anytime she wants to go visit.
Oh my God. What?
Pre-COVID. Yes. So we didn't have to worry about travel to Italy at that time. So what makes you and your perfect customers tick? This is really going to be the foundation for your brand, but don't worry too much about making it sound good. You're just looking for those words that reflect your essence. Then now we go into part 3, or side 3. So now we're going to work on a different part of our attraction plan. And that question is, what do I want? And I mean, you could just leave it there. What do I want? What do I want my perfect customers to expect from me is the full question. What does that mean? I hate that word expect. But what I realized is that the reason I hated that word expect was because people were always expecting things I didn't want them to expect. I didn't want them to expect me to be normal or, you know, easily controlled or, you know, I don't know, whatever their expectation was, I wasn't probably going, you know, it was sort of that, well, what did you expect? You know, kind of attitude towards expectations. But then I realized if I get to determine what the expectation is in advance, then I like the expectation. For instance, I want them to expect that, you know, that the whole process of working together is fun and fulfilling and blissful, that's creative and the best thing they ever did. You know, I want them to expect that. I want them to expect that. So some of my goals, let's say that I have 50 people in my mastermind. I want them to expect that. Or I want them to expect that I easily attract 10,000 or more in sales every month. So why would my clients expect that? Well, there's that kind of space of that they anticipate. I want them to anticipate this. It's kind of out there. It's kind of hard for me to wrap my logical brain around this too much. It just suffice it to say, you just relax and write down what you want, and suddenly it starts happening. Okay. And we're doing this from the perspective of that we're attracting our perfect people. So our perfect people expect that we take 2 months of vacation every year. I don't know, that I'm in Hawaii. And then when they call me, they're like, I thought you were going to be in Hawaii this month. So the next piece, the fourth part of this amazing, magical attraction plan is, who am I willing to be to attract what I say I want? This one was like, what? Who am I willing to be to attract what I say I want? Okay, well, there's 2 ways of being. Yeah, you're either going to be in fear or you're going to be in love. That's every derivative of that. You know, fear, worry, freaked out. Where's my next client coming from? My God, I looked at my bank account this morning and I was like, I didn't have any sales calls last week. Oh my God. I better mail to my list. Oh, right. So that's freaked out.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the economy is going to crash. Ah, I'm going to fail. You know, my whole world will crumble. Or something like
Never
that.
think that way. Must be something wrong with me.
Hey, I know there's something good about you if you don't. So this is like a fear way of, and a lot of time media just wants to it's a human way of being, okay? But there's this other way of being, and it's a way of being that we select the way we're being.
Yeah.
And we say, well, if I'm going to actually attract 50 people to my mastermind, who do I have to be? And that's really the query. Who do I have to be? Well, you know, I can't be standoffish. Now, let's just see, what's the opposite of standoffish? That would be available. I'd have to be available, right? I gotta be love. I think there's something about love in there, you know, like open to just talk and love people. Just love on a bunch of people, because I'm going to have to probably talk to at least 200 people to have 50 of them say yes to my mastermind or something like that, right?
Right.
I have a 25% conversion rate, let's just say. So I got to be loving on like 200 people. Who do I have to be to love on 200 people? A boundless energy of love. Who can I think of? Who can I think of Can you think of somebody, Lillian, who has boundless energy of love?
Children.
Like, there's that woman that just hugs people.
Yeah. Yeah. My grandson just hugs people as he enters a room. He works it and he goes from one person to the next saying, "Hi, my name is Leo Caldwell, and I just love people." And he hugs them and he moves on. He does the whole room that way.
Oh, poor little guy. I can't do that right now. Oh.
When we go to a restaurant, that's what he does. He says, "Oh, I think I know that kid." And then he walks over and says,
So that's the thing. Let's just say, Lillian, that you were feeling like you could use a little inspiration in that regard. And you think, and what's his name again? Leo?
Leo.
Like Leo, and so when you've got your 20 calls to do that day, instead of being like, ugh, why did I schedule 20 calls? You'll be like, I'm going to be like Leo. I'm just going to love on one after the other and probably keep it to 15 minutes, but I'm going to give them so much love in that 15 minutes. So who are you willing to be to attract what you say you want? That's part 4 of the attraction plan. Now, I have a little thing that can help you with this and some video and stuff. A little worksheet or play sheet if you want at a link. So do I tell the link or do we just post it?
Yeah.
Just go to www.magicalmarketingtoolkit.com. www.magicalmarketingtoolkit. And there's some things. There's this play sheet so that it gives you room to do this on a little thing. You can print it out. Reminds you of the questions and stuff. And it also has some videos to help you start taking your attraction plan and apply it to your marketing or your brand. You just start. Right. Don't think too much about it, but just start thinking about how would I like to express myself on my marketing. The attraction plan really helps. And one little final thing, okay? So this will be in the worksheet or play sheet or whatever you want to call it. Once you do your attraction plan, you really want to keep track of your, what we call them, signs of land. So a sign of land is a sign that your attraction plan is coming true. It's kind of like if you're out on a boat in the ocean and you see a seagull, but you know that those seagulls are only ever like within 50 miles of shore. So you know seashore, but you see the sign of land, right?
Right.
Or the certain kind of seaweed that only grows, So then you say, this is maybe you're looking for your 50 people and maybe this person didn't join today, but she's exactly the type of person you want to attract. So you say, I met with Joan. She was perfect. I like more people like that say yes or something like that. That's my sign of land. So keep track of how your attraction plan is coming true. Now I would love to hear from you too. So whenever you get your magical marketing toolkit, we'll be in contact and you can always just reply to any of my emails and we can connect and I can answer your questions about it.
Absolutely. I took a course with Julia and I really recommend her highly. She explains the material thoroughly, but she also gives you an opportunity to put the content in which she provides you with into practical use. So it's not just something she's saying to fill up the time or something, but it's actually really good advice that if you take it to heart, you'll be able to really advance with it. So I recommend it highly. And her email is, in case you want to do it, is Julia, Julia, Stege, Stege, @gmail.com. So let her know because it's to your advantage. And thank you all very much for coming in and joining us this afternoon. You can see this video on Facebook Live /PWR Network, YouTube PWR network. You can also see it on the website, https://passionateworldtalkradio.com. Right-hand side menu, scroll down, cool your heels, and voila, you will see it there. And before you go away and stray, let's see. Thomas Hardy had this to say in 1930. If Galileo had said in verse that the world moved, the Inquisition might have left him alone. Thank you all very much for listening and joining us this afternoon. And remember, please stay healthy. Thank you.